Hello, everybody. Scott Golden here with the AEW Dynamite review for the 25th of August 2021. It's weird. They either have really good segments or junk that doesn't belong on national TV. There's no middle ground with what they seem to be putting out there lately. To be honest, they open with proof that Matt Hardy needs to retire. He needs to do something backstage. He needs to train wrestlers, maybe, or do psychology, or be an agent. He does not need to be taking up time on a national television program. This match wasn't good, takes forever to get going, and finish comes basically out of nowhere. Orange Cassidy does defeat Matt Hardy, though at least the right guy won the match. Neither man comes out with anyone else. They do soft kicks and references to the delete days of the Hardys. Hardy puts his hands in his pockets and he pulls out money. Orange drop kicks it out of his hands. Haha, dumb indie spot. Orange then goes for a dive to the outside. Hardy catches it and side effects him on the floor. Yay! Useless high spot for the sake of looking cool. Back in the ring, Hardy hits a bunch of back suplexes. He makes fun of the laid back kicks of Orange and hits an elbow drop for near fall. Another suplex. And he takes his money back that Orange had taken and nails a leg drop for more offense. He sends Orange into the corner and Orange counters. And then he goes for the beach break. Hardy fights out and Orange's back is hurt, so Hardy hits a splash mountain for near fall. Why is a guy at this age doing that move? Hardy then sets up Twist of Fate. Orange rolls out of the way. Orange counters and hits Twist of Fate. Sends Hardy to the floor before taking him out with a dive to the outside. Dives for the sake of dives. Awesome. Anyway, follows up with a diving crossbody and a float over DDT for a near fall. Hardy then busted open from his nose, which might be broken. Well, at least then now he really can be broken, Matt Hardy. Anyway, they fight on the top rope until Orange sends Hardy to the mat, and he makes fun of a Jeff Hardy pose and hits a hand in his pockets. Swanton. Orange goes for Twist of Fate. Hardy counters and hits a diving elbow for a near fall. Orange comes back with Twist of Fate for a good near fall of his own. Hardy then avoids Orange punch, goes for the elite submission. Orange turns it into a hands in pockets cradle for the pin, and okay. Raquel Black said he agreed with Brock Anderson's dad. He is in over his head. Black demands that when the bell rings, Brock apologizes. If that doesn't happen, Black will take his anger out on Brock, Arn, Cody, and anyone associated with the Nightmare family. Then we see Chris Jericho and MJF with a promo. Basically, the equivalent of this is Jericho makes his entrance. Judas is back. He disappears because he's disappointed because he lost to MJF for a third time. He tapped out. He puts himself through all this punishment because he has to. It's what he does. He had to beat MJF because it's like a mantra running through his head. Beat MJF, beat MJF, beat MJF. Jericho said he would call out an attack on MJF until it's over. He invited MJF out to hear his proposal. MJF didn't show up. Jericho proposed another match at All Out. If he can't beat MJF, maybe he doesn't belong in AEW anymore. And if MJF beats him, he will never wrestle in AEW again. MJF comes out and says this is embarrassing. He told Jericho to leave him alone. He said that the only reason Jericho is obsessed with MJF is that he needs the rub. Fastest rising star in professional wrestling. However, being able to say I tapped out Chris Jericho is a cool saying. He ended Jericho's legacy. He kept telling Jericho to be careful because he's better than him and he knows it. This was fine, but I don't think we need another match, especially one as predictable as, I don't know, like Jericho has to win, otherwise he's leaving AEW, which he won't do because he's got years left on his contract. Anyway, I hate predictable booking and trite concepts. Varsity Blondes are in the locker room. May not have a bloodline bond, but that the Lucha Brothers have, but they're focused on the goal and taking on the Young Bucks in a steel cage. Young Bucks and the Elite come out to watch the match. Lucha Brothers, Penta, and Rey Fenix defeat Varsity Blondes, Garrison, and Brian Pillman Jr. This is predictable. I'm not surprised, but at the same point, I'm disappointed. This isn't very good. Sloppier match, and it's because, honestly, Lucha only works with people that can do Lucha and don't care about psychology. Garrison and Pillman don't have the ability to keep pace with that style, nor do they have the experience, and so this is a mess. Semifinals in the Tag Contenders Tournament. The winner facing Jurassic Express on Friday. First shot against the Young Bucks at All Out. Garrison and Fenix start off. They wrestle around and hit a bunch of big moves that makes nowhere, leading to a stalemate and tagging off to their partners. Penta calls for a chant and gets in Pillman's face. Pillman hits forearms, runs into a thrust kick before hitting one of his own. Step up Rana. Takedowns Penta. Came back with a sling blade. Penta follows up with a loud overhead chop leading into a break. Neither team is in control. Sloppy offense on both sides. Penta reaches Fenix for tag. Takes out Garrison with a mule kick. Hits a cutter on Pillman for near fall. Penta and Garrison fight on the apron. Pillman hits a springboard drop kick on Penta. Fenix pulls Pillman to the floor. Lucha Brothers hit what I guess I should now call slap kicks before Fenix lands an assisted tope to the outside. Back in the rings, Blondes isolate Fenix. Garrison hits a crossbody for a near fall, probably the most convincing near fall of the match thus far. Penta gets involved and take turns kicking Pillman before package piledriver. Lucha Brothers win out of nowhere. These out of nowhere wins with very little build, probably not the best idea. After the match, Lucha Brothers and Jurassic Express face off in the ring. Bucks came in and shoved Jurassic Express into Lucha Brothers. They then kick the Bucks to the floor and take them out with dives. Andrade and Chavo cut a promo saying Pac is great, but Andrade's better. They'll battle it all out. So Jamie Hayter with Dr. Britt Baker, and Rebel defeats Red Velvet. Hayter ignores a drop kick and hit a fallaway slam. She dominates Velvet twist strike early until Velvet battles Hayter to the floor. Velvet follows up with 2 dives, and so that's like the 5th dive of the show. Anyway, Baker gets involved, attacking Velvet from behind while the official's distracted. Back from the break, they're trading forearms in the middle of the ring. Velvet gets the upper hand with the clothesline and the back elbow, followed with a bulldog. Baker gets on the apron, forcing Velvet to strike on the floor. Velvet missed a standing moonsault. Hayter nails a chokebreaker and a lariat for the win. Hayter and Rebel attack. Statlander runs out, cleans house. She is face to face with Baker, who runs the floor. Dark Order. Backstage, Evil Uno said Dark Order's a unit. Units face obstacles. Some members stayed behind during the Hangman Page beatdown. Reynolds has problems with what Uno said, blaming Uno for the beatdown. Uno told Reynolds to stay in John Silver's shadow, and more disagreeing follows. CM Punk comes out, and this is honestly the first big league thing of the show, really. Shivani said he's a wrestling announcer, but he's a fan first. He brings out the best in the world, CM Punk. Punkcast, one thing brought him back to wrestling. Punk said, I can't hear you, Tony, referencing the Punk chants. He mulls over the question. He references the young talent. He says there's one guy above all, Darby Allin. Punk puts him over, saying that he sees Allin wrestle. He thinks, can CM Punk still go like that? He starts with Allin. Punk said when he was 15, Allin would have been his favorite wrestler. He's not fitting the mold, not the biggest, strongest, but he's got heart. There were yes chants, and Punk tells them to be patient, referencing Bryan Danielson in all but name. Punk says he's not here to prove Hate is wrong. He's here to prove himself right. He acknowledges his wife, AJ Lee, April Mendez, and Tony Schiavone closes out the segment. This was too short, doesn't really do anything to advance the storyline, but at least acknowledges him on the main program, and I think it bumps the ratings a bit. Miro admits to being wrong about Fuego del Sol. He doesn't forgive Eddie Kingston. He says he will find Kingston because he's a redeemer. His wife will love him because he is the champion. Bring me Mad King before I burn this place to the ground. Jon Moxley, Eddie Kingston, and Darby Allin with Sting defeat the Wingmen, Ryan Nemeth, Cesar Bononi, and JD Drake with Peter Avalon. Allin sends Drake to the floor right away. Drake moves out of the way, stops a dive, so that would have been dive number 6. Kingston and Nemeth tag in. Kingston takes him out with a chop. Bononi comes in and has a shoulder block battle with Kingston. Blind tag. Moxley allows him and Kingston to take out Bononi ahead of the commercial. Bononi then beats up on Moxley upon return. Moxley comes back, tags in Kingston, hits a kitchen sink and a Uranagi. Nemeth's distraction allows Drake to take out Kingston, but Moxley hits bites at his face. Kingston tags in Allin. Allin hits the Avalanche Code Red and laid in a bunch of slaps. Avalon trips him up. Sting, Moxley, and Kingston corner Avalon and all beat him up. Nemeth brings a chair into the ring. Moxley and Kingston take him out, and Allin and Drake are left. Allin hits a stunner coffin drop for the win. Post-match, Daniel Garcia runs out, attacks Allin's before running away, and Sting, Moxley, and Kingston enter the ring. Ty Conti is asked about the Women's Casino Battle Royal as well as Dark Order's tensions. Bunny walks out, offers Conti a spot in the Hardy family office. Conti rips up contract. Bunny slaps her and they brawled. This is just stupid. Dax Harwood provides an update on Cash Wheeler, saying that the nerves in his arm aren't firing the way they should. He's gotten approval from for one more match. Cash walked up and said they wouldn't stop until they get the pound of flesh. Top guys out. Kenny Omega promo. Omega, Callis, Nakazawa, and Cutler all come out. Man, the champion has jobbers. Good for him. Anyway, Shivani and says that All Out they'll take out Christian Cage once and for all. Christian's music plays, and he comes out and he plays a video of Callis and Christian's history, with Callis firing Christian. Christian called Callis a carny. Omega said that he's clearly nothing has changed in 27 years. And Callis compared himself to promoters like Watts, McMahon, and Gagne. Christian completely ignores this, which infuriates Callis. Callis says that All Out Christian wouldn't find out what Callis had known his entire career. Christian's second best. Christian attacked, but was overwhelmed by numbers, leading to Frankie Kazarian running out to make the save. Jon Moxley cuts a promo backstage, noting that New Japan man who's showing up at All Out, Kojima. Kojima's a legend, but Moxley is insulted that Kojima feels he can go toe-to-toe with him once the bell rings. He has no respect for anyone. At All Out, it'll be public execution of Kojima. Yeah, this is fine, but I don't know that Kojima's where you really want to go. Factory, QT Marshall, Kanemaru, and Solo defeat the Gun Club, Billy, Austin, and Colton Gunn. Why is this on national television? Gunn and Kanemaru face off to start. Austin and Solo tag in. A clothesline from QT on the apron allows Factory to take control ahead of the break. Once back, Kanemaru is in control. Solo tags in, allows Austin to escape. Colton gets the hot tag, hits a corner splash on Solo and QT. QT points at Paul Wright on commentary. Billy rolls him up for the quick win, and no one cares. Dan Lambert was with Man of the Year Ethan Page and Scorpio Sky. He couldn't believe that AEW fans want to see people like Sammy Guevara and Orange Cassidy week after week. He said they don't want to see tough guys. Lambert brought real men who'd stand up to the woke masses like Sky and Page. They will set an example. If Sky and Page are affiliated with Dan Lambert, I'm all for this. This week's Rampage card, Ty Conti and the Bunny, Tag Team Champions, #1 contenders. Jurassic Express Lucha Brothers, Kenny Omega and Brandon Cutler versus Christian Cage and Frankie Kazarian. Next week on Dynamite, Brian Cage, Powerhouse Hobbs, Arn Cassidy, Jack Evans, FDR, Santana and Ortiz, Chris Jericho interview with Jim Ross, MJF sits down with himself, current all-out lineup for the pay-per-view, Omega Christian, Punk, Allen, Britt Baker, Chris Statlander, Tag Team Champions Young Bucks and Jurassic Express or Lucha Brothers in a cage, Andrade Pac, MJF versus Jericho. If Jericho loses, he'll never wrestle again. Paul Wright and QT Martel and the Women's Casino Battle Royal. Arn Anderson asked about his experience difference between his son and Mikael Black. He said Brock's in over his head, but he's an Anderson. He's got guts. Unfortunately, good doesn't always conquer evil. He'll go down with Brock either way. And so, Black corners Rock and lays in repeated strikes. Arn considers throwing in the towel, but he drops it. Black demands that Arn throw it in, allowing Brock to surprise Black with strikes to Black's quad. Black then comes back with an overhead throw and a spinning heel kick for a squash victory. After the match, Black grabs a chair, faced off with Arn in the ring. Arn tells him to get rid of the chair and square up. Arn blocks the spinning heel kick. Black kicks him low and hits the spinning heel kick, leaving both Andersons laying. Lee Johnson comes out, but Black wants nothing to do with this, and the show closes. Honestly, the weakest Dynamite in a long while, but they're trying. Anyway, we'll be back with more right after this.